On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. A tough day at the stock market for sure. Still tough at this point in time. I think the market closes in about an hour. We've got a lot happening there. Trump still has some pretty bad leaks, it seems, coming from his circle. Laura Loomer kind of freaked out. Not normally one to actually get up and applaud Laura, but she seems to be on something this time for sure, and kind of actually took care of business in a very cool way. So a lot going on in the world. Obviously, the tariff things we're going to spend some time talking about. Huge stuff going on with tariffs. And some horrible weather for that matter, too. A whole bunch of tornadoes broke out all over the place. It's pretty catastrophic in my opinion. But here's some of this.
Northeast corner of Arkansas right now. Here's a brand new video of a police car trying to escape one of those tornadoes as it tears down the road, ripping up homes and power lines. Some of the damage being described as catastrophic. And the threat isn't over yet. A tornado emergency remains in effect. Northeast corner of Arkansas right now.
Yeah, it's certainly pretty bad, to say the least. And again, we've got a few of these broke out.
There's another one. Holy shit. I told you when I saw that one a while ago, it was big. Please, God, keep it going away. Keep it going away. Please, God. Please, God. Please, God.
Yeah, that's the storm cellar, it looks like, I hope. Yeah, just again, a few of these. Okay, no volume on this one. The night ones, I don't know why they scare me more, because you can't see them, right? And then power goes out, and then you have no idea where the hell it's at. Yeah, just horrific storms going on all over the place. Also, the state of Texas, rocked by over a dozen earthquakes just in the last day, which is very strange out there. I don't know if that's related to oil or what. I mean, typically you don't get a lot of earthquakes in Texas that I'm aware of. But 3.5 magnitude, which not big at all, but when you don't ever get them, yeah, it'll scare the crap out of you. You might feel it. 3.5 is pretty small, but you probably feel it, especially if you never had one before. It'll trip you out because, you'd be like, was that an earthquake? Yeah, it's all sorts of fun there, huh? 36 earthquakes in this part of Texas, stretching from Stanton, Texas, which I guess is a little bit north of Odessa, and Culberson County, along with the state's western border, and New Mexico. Ooh, and by the way, that reminds me, I talked to the gentleman at Two-A-Days out there on Pearland Avenue. Oh, this is going to be fun. This venue is very, very nice. Very, very nice. It's a sports bar. Got a really, really nice, it's a small little stage, which works perfect for what we're doing. And then I can broadcast. There's a couple TVs. Got that all figured out, but it's going to be a good show. So if you guys are going to be in the Houston area on the 4th of July, it's going to be a Friday. I'm going to do a 2-hour live music show from there. If you're anywhere in the area and want to be a part of it, Two-A-Days is the location that we're going to be at. If you could, and give us an email just to give us an idea of how many are going to come, it's onthefringearoundthenation@gmail.com. It's onthefringearoundthenation@gmail.com. Just give a head count how many are planning on showing up. We just want to make sure that we stay within the size of the venue. We have plenty of space, and supposedly 4th of July is not usually a really busy day at this particular location. So it's going to work out really well. We're pretty much going to own this bar for the time that we're there. And they have food and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So again, it's called Two-A-Days. It's off of Pearland Avenue. It's in Houston, kind of on the outskirts. Really nice area. There are a couple hotels in the area if you need to stay the night. So a lot of good things are going to be going on there. All right. 2 million user international pedophile child porn ring was busted by Europol. It's kind of amazing that Europe did anything good like this, but that's fantastic. Supposedly, this KidFlix, which was the name of this pedophile network, had about 1.8 million subscribers throughout the world. So they've got investigations going all over the place. There are 79 people have been arrested so far, and there's another 1,400 expected to be rounded up. I guess about 100 of those guys are actually located in Germany as well, which I assume is relevant. I think they're going to be all over the place. I'm sure here in Southeast Asia and all sorts of crazy places. So, yeah, but massive, massive pedophile network has been taken down. Hopefully that helps stop some of the child trafficking as well. All right, a lot of stuff going on with the tariffs. I've got a bunch of little snippets of Trump's speech from yesterday, and I think that'll help kind of get us in the right frame of mind, if you will. But Liberation Day, Libertad, damn it. But this is a big day, and I think a lot of people, for some reason, still don't really understand where and why they thought something else was going to happen on the 2nd. He was very specific that this was all about the tariffs. Said it a bunch of times. Never really did understand where those things came from. I'm still kind of confused by it, but whatever the case is, here's Trump talking about Liberation Day.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. Waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy.
Which would be nice. I think every one of us would like to see some of that. Here's some more executive order signing, the reciprocal tariffs when he signed those in. Here's this happening.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple, can't get any simpler than that. This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt, and it'll all happen very quickly. With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before.
Which is outstanding as well. So again, a lot of good stuff that Trump was saying. Here's some more of it. This is one of the most important days in history, our Declaration of Economic Independence, and we definitely need it.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our Declaration of Economic Independence.
Well, that sounds exactly like what I just played. How about that? Let's try this one. Maybe this is going to be better for us. In the face of unrelenting economic warfare, the United States can no longer continue with this policy of unilateral economic surrender. He is finally making America great again.
A century later, in the face of unrelenting economic warfare, the United States can no longer continue with a policy of unilateral economic surrender. We cannot pay the deficits of Canada, Mexico, and so many other countries. We used to do it. We can't do it anymore. We take care of countries all over the world. We pay for their military. We pay for everything they have to pay. And then when you want to cut back a little bit, they get upset that you're not taking care of them any longer. But we have to take care of our people, and we're going to take care of our people first. And I'm sorry to say that. And today we're standing up for the American worker, and we are finally putting America first.
About time. About freaking time. All right, so here is the tariffs. China got the biggest swath of this, 67%. Let's see, tariffs charged to the USA, so they charge us 67%. I guess it's not, I don't know. I heard it was the biggest. It doesn't look like it. Looks like Vietnam's got the highest percentage, but whatever the case is, there's talk of maybe raising it more with China, but 34% to them. We've got the European Union, 20%. Now, again, this was a discounted reciprocal tariff. We are being tariffed by the European Union, 39%. He's charging them 20%. Vietnam charges us 90%. He's charging them 46%. Taiwan, 64%. We're charging them 32%. Japan doing the same. So we've got Japan, India, South Korea, everyone, every single country in the world, I'm pretty sure, because he's got 4 friggin' slides of this. Got Peru, Nicaragua, Norway. Again, they charge 10% in Peru. We're charging 10%. Nicaragua does 36%. We're doing 18%. It seems in a lot of cases it's about half. Sometimes not exactly, but it's in many cases. UAE, 10%, 10% for both. New Zealand, 20%. We're giving 10% at them. Madagascar is 93% to us. We're only charging them 47%. Myanmar or Burma, 88%. Again, just some of the larger numbers. Laos, 95%. We're only doing 48. Got Algeria, Oman, Uruguay. Again, a lot of places. But yeah, this is huge. And this has affected and freaked out a lot of people across the markets all over the place, in fact. So something that we should rejoice and be happy about. And we also have been talking about how this would be a little bit painful up front. And, I was talking about how the stock market was likely not going to like it. It surprised me. I mean, like Monday, it was coming down a little, right? And Tuesday, a little. Like today is like, damn. Today was pretty bad. So it's strange that they didn't do it sooner. They knew this was coming. Not sure why they wait or whatever. But auto workers cheer for Trump because he's essentially making American auto factories great again.
100%. So, Mr. President, we can't thank you enough. And in 6 months or a year, we're going to begin to see the benefits. I can't wait to see what's happening 3 or 4 years down the road. Thank you, Mr. President.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Again, a lot happening. Here's Trump actually signing the paperwork. Right here with this trusty executive order dude.
That's a 10. That's a good one.
Mr. President, what do you say to American families who are worried they'll pay more?
I don't think he's saying anything, is what it sounds like. We'll go ahead and just get past that. 4 Republican senators have helped Democrats pass a resolution, this is in the Senate, that would effectively repeal President Trump's tariffs on Canada. We're starting to really see, well, one, who some of the people are that we've kind of figured would fall on this list, and then others that, I'll be honest, I sort of liked in the past. There's been a lot of places where Rand Paul has not done what I would think is best, but I think we're very much finding a situation here where Rand Paul is swimming in waters that are likely not going to work out well for him, I guess. We'll see. But this resolution, it was offered by Senator Tim Kaine, a Democrat from Virginia, would appeal the emergency declaration that allowed Trump to place tariffs on Canada. The White House has cited fentanyl flowing across the border as a reason for the declaration, but the measure is likely dead on arrival in the GOP-controlled House. So it's not likely going to get voted in, but it passed through the Senate. And now we've also got Chuck Grassley, trying to put through legislation that would require Congress to approve all tariffs within 60 days. Again, I don't know what's going on with this either. Maria Cantwell, which is just a hilarious last name, Democrat from Washington, and Chuck Grassley, again, bipartisan measure here. Not sure if this one's going to pass, be it the Senate or the House. I doubt it would pass the House. It might make it through the Senate, considering what we saw with Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, and Rand Paul. So I'm assuming that we might have that same group of people that would support something against the Republicans. Again, 48 Republicans voted no, but the 51 with those 4 people were able to push it over the top. So the same group might be trying to sell us down the river, it sounds like, or at least very much trying to fight Trump. big problem that we're having right now. Eric Trump posted this: I wouldn't want to be the last country that tries to negotiate a trade deal with that real Donald Trump. The first to negotiate will win. The last will absolutely lose. I have seen this movie my entire life, for sure. Donald Trump truth this out: the operation is over. The patient lived and is healing. The prognosis is that the patient will be far stronger, bigger, better, and more resilient than ever before. Make America great again. And he's right. This was the painful thing. It was kind of like when Reagan took us off, the thing that Carter did with that was causing all the gas problems or whatever. Had something to do with the dollar and whatever the case was. It was very tough at first, and it actually cost Reagan a lot, but he did the thing that was best for the country. And in return, we actually had a big boom cycle that came from the great choices that he made. So President Trump decided to speak to some reporters before heading to Florida. And of course, everyone's talking about the markets being bad, and Trump's like, they're going to boom. The good times are coming. Kind of, essentially relax.
Like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal? They've taken advantage of us for many, many years. For many years, we've been at the wrong side of the ball, and I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be unbelievable. The thing that people have to talk about, we're up almost to $7 trillion of investment coming into our country, and you'll see how it's going to turn out. Our country's going to boom.
So I guess that's pretty much it. Don't need to listen to people screaming questions that he's never going to answer. But yes, this is expected. How this plays out, I was talking to my stock guy this morning just about something kind of unrelated, but this was all happening, so it was like perfect time to talk to him. He actually called me, so it worked out really well. We've got a lot of transition that has to occur. We've got to take back power. We've got to bring back manufacturing. We've got a lot of things that can't just happen overnight, that need sort of pain points to cause them to happen as well, which is a lot of what we're going through right now. So again, how bad this is, I think this is some of that collapse that's meant to get us away from the Federal Reserve note, frankly. But again, how this plays out, we will definitely find out. Donald Trump truth this out. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune have been working tirelessly on taking the next step to pass the plan for our one big, beautiful bill, as it is known, as well as getting us closer to debt extension necessary to continue our great work. That scared me a little bit, that part. I was hoping we weren't going to have to raise the debt ceiling. What I'm hearing is we're going to raise it a bunch, which freaks me out even more. Anyway, we'll get there. The Senate budget plan gives us the tools that we need to get our shared priorities done, including certain permanent tax cuts, spending cuts, energy, historic investments in defense, border, and much more. We are going to cut spending and right-size the budget back to where it should be. The Senate plan has my complete and total support. Likewise, the House is working along the same lines. Every Republican House and Senate must unify. We need to pass it immediately. Now, Senate Republicans, they've released their budget blueprint. So we got some tax cuts. We've also got a $5 trillion debt limit hike. That's concerning. That doesn't sound like we're going backwards in any way, shape, or form. The revised budget resolution calls for a $1.5 trillion tax cut. That sounds fun, but of course, that money's got to be made up some other way. So they're hoping to get this pushed through. Senate Republicans are using the budget reconciliation process to evade the 60-vote hurdle in the chamber, where they hold a 53-47 majority. And they can just cut Democrats out of the process entirely. They don't even have to be involved. They're going to cry all sorts of tears and whatnot, but ultimately, it's what's going to happen. So the Senate's going to move forward with this budget. They're going to try to get this going. I saw Lindsey Graham's name down here. Did he say something stupid? Text was released after the group of GOP senators met with Trump, said Senator Lindsey Graham, the chair of the Budget Committee. Graham and other Senate Republicans have moved much closer to the House approach, though some differences will need to be sorted out in the final bill. Let's see what else. There was some other fun stuff in here. Yeah, the measure opens the door to $150 billion to increase the military spending, $175 billion more for immigration enforcement to help, basically fly people out of here. That's got to be stupid expensive, as well as a bunch of cops. The $5 trillion debt hike is kind of scary. Yeah, no amount of gaslighting. This is what Schumer said, all sorts of crazy stuff. I don't really care what Schumer says or thinks or any of that. It's going to be big money. And so, we'll see. It reminds me, too, by the way, a couple things. One, that story the thumbnail from yesterday. We'll come to find out, and we're going to get there in a second. Musk is stepping away from Doge, which is going to be interesting. His time, I guess, runs out here in about a month. And Laura Loomer tore someone apart, I think, because of that. So we're gonna get there. Also, doing the live Law of One show tonight at 3 p.m. Pacific on Thursday. You can watch it whenever you want, of course. And that will be on all the platforms. I'll upload to the places that I do live. So 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, about an hour long or so. We're doing the third and fourth session today. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And then also music tomorrow. We're doing. It's basically inspired, but it's got a bunch of Jimmy Buffett. I'd say I probably got about 5 Jimmy Buffett songs in there, maybe 6. Really good stuff. Got some Eagles. I don't know. It's just kind of that groovy sort of fun 70s rock kind of, I don't know, whatever that you would call that. But it's going to be fun. We'll be doing that tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So please join us for that. That will be lots of fun. So this is tough to explain, frankly. So one of the things, James E. Thorne, he's a strategy guy, I guess, right? Money guy. And says, folks don't get it. Says, rates are declining. Besant is a happy man. His North Star is UST 10-year yield, not the Fed. Tariffs will eventually force the Fed's hand. Let the crazies in the equity futures have their fun. The real information is in the credit markets. So he's talking about how the treasuries are dipping back down, and that's supposed to be kind of what we want. Brain Medic did some good analysis on this. Says Trump is no longer the stock market president. When Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trump learned that Biden's peoples cooked the books on inflation and unemployment, they knew they had been set up for failure. They also knew America's economic engine, which had primarily been driven by government jobs, needed to be retooled to rely on private sector employment. The economic reset in America will cause investor fear, which will shake financial markets. Trump and Bessent are expecting this. Their goals are to reduce the yield on the 10-year Treasury and force the Fed to lower the prime rate. If those things happen, the economy will respond favorably. Reasonably sure Trump knows what he's doing, but this is one of the bumps that we've been talking about. We're going to go through a bump in the night. This was one of them. NASDAQ is down 5.38% right now. I don't even know what the total dollar amounts is in this little thing. It's too hard to tell. Dow Jones is down 3.6%, and the S&P is down 4.35%. Gold's down a little bit. Gold's down about $30 today, so it's still sitting over 3,100. Silver's down about $2, which, by the way, just means it's a good time to buy things like that. Talked a lot about that before in the past, and certainly you can go to my wonderful site. And I should probably turn that on too. But Goldco, you can buy precious metals from them, and you can also transfer out of your 401k or IRA that likely just took a big hit. So again, we don't know if we're done with this. The tariff war is going to continue. We know there's some more coming with it. I just don't recommend sticking around in that system. I would get out or at least diversify. Precious metals are doing extraordinarily well. Their gold's up 43% in 1 year. Your stocks aren't anywhere close to that. And they are not having a good day, it seems. Go to drslikesgold.com. That's drslikesgold.com. You can get up to 10% of free silver for the face value of your 401k or your IRA. Again, tax-free, penalty-free. You can get out. It's actual physical metals. They're placed in a trust. You don't have them in your hands because that's the same thing as cashing out. But my good friends at Goldco can help you do all of this. They have the best customer service. They can't necessarily tell you what to do, and they certainly don't believe the crazy crap I talk about. But what they are extraordinary at is helping you get out of that 401 system or that IRA system and getting into physical, actual precious metals, and then all the steps that happen in between, and then making sure that you do it tax-free and penalty-free. It's a lot to take on. It's very helpful to have people that know what they're doing. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of that crazy system before they get out of you. All right, so we've got multiple career intelligence staff have confirmed that the Biden administration, the DNI Avril Haines, had apparently been using Signal all the time on her personal phone, too. So this is going to be kind of tough for all the Democrats right now that are trying to give everybody a hard time about using Signal. Signal was put into place way before Trump. It's been used by both administrations. So any noise they make, it's just weird. It's like they don't bother to look stuff up, or they just feel like they can say whatever they want and no one's ever going to catch them on their bullshit. I don't know. It's so strange. But yeah, career intelligence staffers of Haines' use of Signal now complicates efforts by Democrats and their allies to attack top national security officials for using the app. This is pretty dang funny. First off, it's funny how far Eric Adams has fallen from grace when you think about like the Democrat Party, right? And maybe he was always a good guy, but he didn't seem like it. But when he finally started coming out about the immigration, the pain it was causing, and trying to get more help from the Biden administration, then all of a sudden he's got investigations and all sorts of stuff's happening, right? So here we are, him calling out the baddies and using Kash Patel's book to do it. That was the part that got me. I thought this was cool as hell.
But I'm not a quitter. I'm a New Yorker. And that is why today, although I am still a Democrat, I am announcing that I will forego the Democratic primary for mayor and appeal directly to all New Yorkers as an independent candidate in the general election.
Oh, I thought this was the thing where he talked about... Well, that's so unfortunate. Yeah, oh, this was why, because this wasn't what I was supposed to play. Yeah, I think I've got the story with him. I hope. I thought I had that. Oh, this is it right here. Man, I'm all over the place. I apologize, guys. I got a little lost on this particular slide. But this is Eric Adams holding up the book in this particular case.
And New Yorkers stop me all the time in trying to find the rationale behind this. And I found it in this book. I'm going to encourage every New Yorker to read it. And
dude, he just totally called out Kash Patel's book. That's so freaking awesome. So good stuff. Good on Kash Patel. So yeah, Eric Adams spoke after his case was dismissed and advised his audience to figure out what's going on. And then obviously we had oh yeah, this is okay. This is where I was. Okay, that's why. I'm sorry, guys. I think I'm a little disheveled. Too much going on. A trial attorney, too, by the way, has resigned in the wake of Trump's administration decision to drop charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Remember, guys, there's that person that didn't want to drop the charges, and they're like, well, you have to. And they're like, oh, I'm not going to. And they're like, well, then you can step down. Well, Senator Adam Schiff and Rep. Jamie Raskin, matey, are orchestrating a so-called shadow hearing to question former Justice Department official Ryan Crosswell. Again, the last names, Crosswell, right? He crossed them well. An attorney who resigned after the department moved to drop corrupt charges against Adams. So they want to find out. It's so weird how they're going after Adams as hard as they're going after, at least in my mind. Like, the dude was a Democrat, and now we've got Adam Schiff and Raskin literally trying to find out why'd they drop the charges. This is ridiculous. So they're also going to hear from Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney who said she was fired from the Trump Justice Department after she did not cooperate with efforts to restore actor Mel Gibson's gun rights. Rachel Cohen, a former Big Law associate who called on her firm to refuse to cooperate with the Trump administration, is also set to appear. So again, they'll leak everything, I'm sure, and Adam Schiff will most likely make up a bunch of stuff, right? We're going to have the same situations we've had before. We'll see how those things play out in the big picture. Okay, I think I finally know where I'm at. Here's the Laura Loomer, I guess, showed up to the actual White House. I mean, she's supposedly friends with Trump and gets quite a bit of good graces from him. She walked in, I guess, with a whole bunch of information, just like, stacks of papers that are proving, and she was livid, that Trump still has people that are in and around the West Wing who are leaking to the hostile left-wing media about President Trump's confidential and private meetings in the Oval Office. And this, I think honestly relates to the Musk thing. That Musk thing was never supposed to come out, and it did. Now, again, it's hard to know when to trust a leak and when not to, and ultimately they're mostly always wrong, but there's been a few of them that have been right. So, again, makes it borderline impossible to try to do this. You just kind of got to let the dust settle as it plays out. But yeah, after exactly 1 hour before he received the termination email, Laura Loomer posted on social media about Mr. Schlafer calling him a Biden holdover. This guy is supposedly one of the people that's leaking. So information's coming out. Apparently some people got fired. I think 3 people or something like that. Some disloyal staffers apparently got fired. Not sure if that's directly related to this or not, but it is interesting. And I'm quite sure if Trump found out anybody's leaking anything, they're gone immediately. I don't care who you are. So that's kind of an interesting thing working itself out. Vice President Vance said Thursday that billionaire Elon Musk will remain a friend and an advisor to the White House after Musk departs from his role as a special government employee next month. Musk is leading the efforts of the Department of Government Efficiency to shrink the size and scope of the federal government, but this special government employee status will expire at the end of May. Vance made clear that Musk would not exit President Trump's orbit once he leaves his office government role, however. Of course, he is going to continue being an advisor, and, by the way, the work of Doge is not even close to done. The work of Elon is not even close to done, Vance told Fox and Friends. Doge has got a lot of work to do, and yeah, that work is going to continue after Elon leaves. But, fundamentally, Elon is going to remain a friend and advisor of both me and the president, and he's done a lot of good things. People don't realize how vast and uncontrolled the bureaucracy was. We've started to chip away at that, but there is a lot of work to do. It's not going to happen all in 6 months. It's going to take a long and committed effort. And essentially, yeah, Musk can't just continue to hang out. And especially for the bullshit that he's having to deal with for just trying to help this country out and just being hated by so many. It's pretty messed up, right? So he's like, yeah, I don't need to do this, that's for sure. You guys can do this without me. So, yeah, a lot is happening. President Trump has made another agreement with one of these law firms that he did executive orders against. This one is Milbank LLP. Ultimately, these are a lot of people that did case stuff against Trump, be it personally or against his administration prior, people that were involved in the Steele dossier stuff, just like a lot of those types of law firms he's gone after hardcore and done executive orders to like seize and freeze any financials going to them. So the ones that have made deals, there's a couple cases. I think I've got a case somewhere that basically the judge is saying you can't do that. Go figure. But in a lot of cases, the law firms are making deals, and they're going to do pro bono work to the equivalent of, I think typically I'm seeing $100 million of pro bono legal services to help the Trump administration in different ways that they need it, right? So we'll see how these things continue to play out. Trump has a major war going on. He's got a lot of people pissed at him. It is amazing that we're still moving as quickly as we are, though I kind of feel like at times we're taking some definite hits. So we'll see, though. Trump taps lawyer for top aides as senior Justice Department official. He picked Stanley Woodward, who has been serving as the White House lawyer to Trump, to be the Associate Attorney General, the third highest ranking post of the Justice Department that oversees civil rights, antitrust, and environmental enforcement. It also oversees the civil division, which is defending Trump's policies against legal challenges. So if Woodward is confirmed, the top 3 officials at the Justice Department would all be attorneys who personally defended either Trump or his close associates. Woodward represented several people in Trump's orbit, including now FBI Director Kash Patel, as Special Counsel Jack Smith pursued investigations of Trump over his retention of classified documents and attempts to overturn his 2020 election defeat. That's their words, of course. This is, what, Reuters or something? Who did this? I don't know who did this article. But he defended Trump's valet, Walt Nata, as well. He was charged alongside Trump and everyone else, so we're familiar with a lot of these people. So, again, he's bringing in the people that have fought for him, even under great threats and intimidation by judges and everything else under the sun. Same judge blocking the CIA efforts to fire DEI employees hamstrung the Steele dossier prosecution as well. So this Bush-appointed judge who blocked efforts by the CIA to fire employees involved in the DEI programs, he was also on the FISA courts. The guy that was undercutting one of John Durham's Russian collusion hoax prosecutions. This guy was literally holding him back. Trenga, this is the judge who also oversaw Durham's case against the Russian-born Igor Danchenko. He kneecapped the special counsel ahead of the October 2022 trial, including ruling that Durham could not use details from the FBI's prior counterintelligence investigations into Danchenko. He was accused of being the main source for British ex-spy Christopher Steele's debunked dossier. Trenga limited a host of other evidence Durham had sought to show the jury as well. During the trial, Trenga dealt Durham's case another blow as he dismissed one of the false statements brought against Danchenko, who was acquitted of all charges in October 2022. The Eastern District of Virginia is known for handling many national security cases, and Trenga has also been a member of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court since May of 2020 and has been the presiding judge on the secretive court since May of 2023. So here we are. Another judge that's blocking Trump seems to have been somebody that's been working against Trump every chance he's been able to. Or Trenga, I assume it's a dude, but I don't know. Keeps making me think of Trende Arawa. Yeah, Judge Anthony Trenga. Pretty sure it's a dude. That would definitely help solidify that a little bit. D.C. Circuit lifts their court order preventing the CFPB dismantling. Now, there's sort of a caveat to that, but this is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This is cool. The district court, the appellate court, literally stopped the court order. So they lifted that, right? That injunction, I guess is what that's called. But there was kind of already an agreement between the governments and the courts that they were going to kind of chill on firing these people, at least in this particular situation, until this is all resolved. So the judge is like, we're going to lift the injunction, but we'd prefer that you not start firing people if that's cool, right? So kind of, I don't know, meeting them halfway, it sounds like. The panel of the appellate judges was made up of the U.S. Circuit judges Cornelia Pillard, Gregory Katsas, and Naomi Rao. Barack Obama and 2 Donald Trump appointees, respectively. So I don't know if this was 2 to 3 or how this played out, but they are moving forward with the case. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Ultimately, he should be able to. This is another one of those agencies, I believe, that was independent inside the executive branch that Congress put there, and you can't do that. So just, Congress can't force the executive branch to do things and can't put spies in the executive branch. No, that's absurd. It'd be like then Trump would be allowed to put spies within Congress, right? Or whatever, the equivalent. Several international students at Colorado universities have had their visas revoked by the Department of Homeland Security, according to the university. Of course, the university is telling us about this. Between the University of Colorado and Colorado State University, 10 students have had their F-1 visa, which allows foreign students to study at universities in America. They've been rescinded as of Tuesday evening. The University of Colorado said 4 international students were impacted. Meanwhile, 6 students at Colorado State University had their visas terminated, waiting for a judge to say, you can't do that. Watch. Federal and local authorities in Texas said they arrested nearly 50 suspected members of the Venezuelan street gang Tren de Aragua, including children, during a raid outside of Austin this week. Texas Department of Public Safety said officers seized drugs Tuesday morning during an operation in which 47 people linked to the gang, often called TDA, were taken into custody close to Dripping Springs. Officials said the raid came about after FBI intelligence caught wind of a possible gathering of suspected TDA members or TDA associates in Hays County. Immigration and Customs Enforcement said those arrested included 25 men, 9 single women, 4 female head of households, and 9 children. Interesting. How old are the children, I wonder? Anyway, that's that. They're going to have fun with that in the press. 9 children. You arrested children. Yep. Dude, Homan's he'll eat that one up, I'm sure. The U.S. Supreme Court hears South Carolina's defense for defunding Planned Parenthood. It's kind of an interesting case. Curious to see how this all plays out. But the U.S. Supreme Court has heard arguments on Tuesday to determine if states have the rights to refuse baby-killing businesses the taxpayer dollars sustaining this through Medicaid. Essentially, do they have to pay the Medicaid fees, if you will, or the Medicaid money to people that are getting abortions? And they believe they shouldn't have to, because abortions are probably mostly not legal, and they're certainly going against Planned Parenthood. So yeah, I can't wait to see how this one turns out, especially the fact that it's at the Supreme Court. That's pretty damn cool. So we'll see. We'll see what we find in the not too distant future. United States Department announced this week it's monitoring the case of a British woman who was put on trial for holding off other people canceling. Oh, this doesn't have the picture. Here it is. Yeah, this picture. She literally was just standing across the street. Oh, come on. Show me the picture. Picture's what it's worth. Right here. This is just standing across the street. Here to talk, if you want, from an abortion clinic. Well, you can't do that in England. You've got to be like 500 feet away or something. I'm assuming they are, well, probably feet still, right? Or did they do it in meters? I don't even know. I don't even know how the hell they wouldn't be feet, because that's how we measure. Whatever the hell they're doing, they're measuring it off somehow. But yeah, she's just like, hey, look, if you want to talk, I'm here. She's not preaching. She's not getting in their face. Just saying, if you want to talk. She's not even saying anti-abortion stuff. Kind of a trip how that all plays out in England, man. I don't know what's going on out there. You all got to figure it out, though. That much is for shizzle. All right, where is it? Why can't I find this? There it is, TWC. twc.health/OTF. Just incredible products. They've got an incredible supplement line. Very good stuff. Just restful sleep that doesn't have the melatonin. Melatonin's kind of bad. It was funny, as I was really into melatonin for a little while, and it does stop working, or you need more and more of it. So it was one of the reasons why I kind of got away from it. But it actually screws up your own system. And I think I didn't quite realize that was happening too. So a lot of bad things go on. So there's better ways that you can get restful sleep without using things like that. And I think they have some of the stuff they have in there's like chamomile and some really cool stuff that I don't mean like making tea, but it's actually got that in the supplement and just really helps you sleep better. So it's great. And they've got, again, spike support. They've got spike detox if you're worried about someone that's rolled up their sleeve or whatever. They got longevity stuff, which is really cool. Now, there are the med kits. You guys know I love these. The contagion kit's the one I always talk about. It's got the key ingredients to protect you from any sort of viral/parasitic infection. Ivermectin 25 tabs, hydroxychloroquine 14 tabs. You got azithromycin, which is a strong antibiotic. You got 12 tabs of that. You've got generic Tamiflu. It's another antiviral. 10 tablets of that. Budesonide is like, an asthma medication, basically. It helps open up your respiratory really, really well, and it's got the nebulizer, and you get 5 of those vials. This thing is a lifesaver if you end up getting one of those nasty viruses. This could be the difference. And they say it's per person, but I would, in all honesty, I think 2 could probably make it on that, but I just would never admit that ever, because you're not supposed to. It's supposed to be for one person. I'm just saying. I think the number of stuff that's in there. You can also get refills, I think, up to 2 years, and it's a reduced price, something to consider as well. But the med kits are incredible. There's first aid kit, I highly recommend as well. There's kids emergency kits, travel emergency kit that you can keep in your car. There's a radiation kit, what I still think is very strange. Like, I never once in my life wanted one of those. I don't know why. There's got to be a good reason. At some point, that'll make more sense to me. The medical one's really good. Those got like antibiotics and all sorts of crazy stuff in it. It's another really, really important one to have. Get you out of all sorts of problems. But yeah, we've got antibiotic, whole bunch of antibiotics in this guy. So antiparasitic. So we've got some ivermectin in there. Antifungal. Got antiemetic. What is that? Rapid relief. Oh, nausea. Okay. But yeah, so that's a really good one, the medical kit. So again, great. And then one of the best things we got in here is this ivermectin mebendazole, this parasite cleanse. This thing's incredible. High demand of orders, so it's going to take a little bit to get this one, I think, because I've been plugging the crap out of this. But this parasite cleanse is incredible. It's a 90-day supply. You get ivermectin and mebendazole. 2 very, very useful things when it comes to removing parasites. And hopefully you're reading between the lines a little bit, or at least have heard some of the correlations between some of the sicknesses we experience and parasites. And I also think parasites and viruses are really similar. I think they're different from some sort of way, but they're both parasitic. for sure. Parasites obviously parasitic, but so are viruses. They don't benefit us, so it's a parasitic relationship. So just wink, wink. Look, this is definitely a good, strong dose of something that can help clean out any infestations that you've got going on in your life. Highly recommend it. Go to twc.health/OTF. That's twc.health/OTF. This product right here is the one that's probably going to save someone's life, if you know what I mean. twc.health/OTF. Make those healthy decisions and healthy choices, and it'll help keep you alive, believe it or not. So Hungary is actually quitting the International Criminal Courts, the ICC. They were part of the ICC, and they were having Netanyahu over in Budapest, and the criminal court wanted them to arrest Netanyahu. And they're like, nah, you know what? We're actually going to quit the International Criminal Courts, and we're still going to have Benjamin Netanyahu come over. Thank you very much. Interesting. Like, right? And it's cool because this is the criminal courts. I mean, it's the deep state court, kind of. This is another example, I think, of how this fracturing of the deep state is occurring. It's breaking apart. It's certainly complex and not easy, but it seems to be breaking apart. There was another suspected attack, or terror attack, in Amsterdam. A car was set on fire, and there was a small explosion on the main square. It's the same place where 5 people were stabbed a few days ago. So some strange stuff going on out there in Amsterdam. Apparently they should get into one of them coffee shops and, just chill a little bit, chillax. Thousands of Haitians took to the streets in Port-au-Prince on Wednesday to express their anger against armed gangs that control nearly all of the capital. Seems weird to get into the streets to protest gangs that are in charge of the country. Like, do the gangs give a shit that you guys are protesting? I'm going to say no. I don't think they care at all. Why would they? So it seems very weird to me that now we've got people that are being talked into going into the streets to protest criminal gangs that have taken control of the government. Violent armed groups have united behind a coalition known as Viv Ansanum. They forced over 1 million people from their homes, which has contributed to a freezing of the economy and fueled mass hunger. They are also accused of extortion, mass rapes, and killings. The transnational government, a rotating body of presidential council members appointed nearly a year ago, alongside a long undermanned and underfunded UN-backed security mission, have done little to hold off the gang's advances. Residents filled the streets of Port-au-Prince carrying banners and palm fronds, while some carried machetes and firearms. Sort of different things. The protest began peacefully, but gunfire erupted later in the day, causing a panic that caused crowds to flee. It's amazing how gunfire will do that. It's just a mess in Haiti. Very sad. Big problems for sure. Josh Hawley posted this. Big news. Facebook whistleblower Sarah Wynne Williams is going to be testifying next week in public under oath before my judiciary subcommittee regarding her explosive evidence of Facebook's cooperation with the communist regime in China, including Facebook's plan to build censorship tools, punish dissidents, and make American users' data available to the CCP. Uh-oh. I know Zuckerberg just bought a $25 million home in D.C. because he plans to be spending a lot more time out there. Apparently it's right by the vice president's mansion or home or whatever. So he's going to be moving into the hood. It'll be interesting. It'll make it easier for him to get over there and answer questions, I guess, in front of Congress. Boeing has made drastic changes to root out defects, the CEO says. I'm hoping, of course, this is true. We need Boeing to become what it once was. But yeah, this it's weird. They're doing better at looking into like here's this. Okay, so among other positive signs to emerge, Ortberg's overhaul are the 50% drop in so-called traveled work, which signifies production processes that are out of sequence. The company has also seen a 56% decline in defects coming from Spirit Aerosystems Holdings, Inc., the supplier of its fuselages. Boeing is in the process of trying to buy back that company so they can control the quality. I thought that was interesting because I didn't realize that they were literally buying the actual the fuselages from another company. I figured they were making those. So yeah, every fuselage door now undergoes additional inspections to ensure there aren't any defects that might cause rework at a later date. The near catastrophe last year on January 5th was a cathartic moment for all of us. He was saying, critically important that we rebuild trust. Amen to that. So, yeah, let's see. He hopes the Boeing can move above a rate of 38 737 MAX aircraft a month later in the year. Yeah, his appearance first before the U.S. lawmakers. So, yeah, hopefully we can get this fixed. What is this sentence? That Boeing can move above a rate of 38 737 MAX aircraft a month. Oh, like they're wanting to be able to build more than that a month, I guess, maybe. I assume. Yikes. People are still buying those? It's almost scary. Minnesota lawmakers probe outgoing food bank CEO. She was making $721,000 a year. As residents are facing hunger, this is the chick that was running the food bank, making $721,000 in 2022. Holy crap. Not too shabby, especially in Minnesota. That is out of friggin' control. So, yeah. If you guys want to, Truth Thread, if you want to check out our wonderful merchandise, I've got, there's a link in the description box if you want to get the Dan I'd Rather stuff. There's still a link down there where you can pick those up. I think it's just the baseball shirts, and there might be some other cool stuff that she's ended up making. But this is also the other one we've got going on. This is a good friend of the channel, truththread.shop. Truththread.shop. We've got, of course, The Great Awakening, all my stuff. Dan Radio style. They got the cups. Even President Trump's the Jack Daniels looking 45-47 thing, which is super cool. Long sleeves, hoodies, baseball shirts, got it all. And the OTF one here, we got the hat. Love the hat, by the way. This is my black ones, but same basic thing. And then there's the other ones, too. We've got some other shirts, the 9/11, Never Forget, a whole bunch of stuff on the back of those. Got the 6/11, Fight, Fight, Fight. It's the armor of God, the day Trump was shot. And so this was a lot of stuff on the back of this, just all these little cool little tidbits of information. And probably one of the most popular ones, the 5G warfare. It talks about the 5 different generations of warfare, and then the 5th is where you are now. But yeah, it just goes through the whole explanation of those. So again, there's shirts that kind of help inform people when they're standing in line behind you and all that. Go to truththread.shop. That's truththread.shop. And help out the channel, help out a family, and just help get the word out. All that good stuff. We've got a great live show that's going to be coming up. Looking forward to this Law of One. As far as from where I'm sitting right now, it's about 2 hours from now. And I will be going live. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's a really fun series. I'll be doing 2 sessions a week. There's about 108 sessions, I want to say. 106, 108, something like that. So we are going to go through it 2 a week, and we will get there. And it's a lot of fun. It's just something I'm very, very fond of. It's something I've probably read, I don't know, maybe 3 times. Something I very much try to incorporate into my life. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Or another way to put it, teach, learn this process with you guys. I love you guys. We're going to keep fighting the fight, and I'm going to keep going with you guys shoulder to shoulder. And we are going to take this planet back. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.